what I'm talking about when I talk about trust is something very specific and very practical, and that is vulnerability-based trust. As leaders of teams, we have to generate trust on our teams by helping people get comfortable being vulnerable with one another. That means people on a team have to say they're sorry, I was wrong, I made a mistake, I'm bad at that, I need your help, you're better than I am at that, I admire you. They have to be human and real and vulnerable. And yet as leaders, we're certainly not taught this. I mean, it's like, don't let them see you sweat. And as pastors, I can only imagine these people are looking up to you, not only for guidance in management, which is part of your job, but for spiritual guidance, and the thought of being vulnerable in front of them is pretty daunting. I once worked with an executive team that had a vulnerability issue. Not at the leadership level in this case, but they had one person on their team, and this was an amazing company that had this all-star group of executives. They had lots of funding, a great product, really everything in the world going for them, but they had this one executive on the team who just couldn't seem to get that. And one night at a dinner between off-site days, at a 2-day off-site, they had some wine, which is, of course, the great elixir of truth sometimes. And she picked up her glass after a few of them and said, "Let me tell you guys something. We've been talking about trust, but I've been married to my husband for 10 years, and I've barely learned to trust him, so I'm not going to be trusting you guys anytime soon, if ever." And we were like, oh, okay. So the CEO and she and I stepped outside after the dinner and said, this is the problem. This is the issue, because if just one member of the team has trouble with trust, it really hurts the entire team, because we would go to their offsite meetings and I would be a facilitator. And whenever we'd be getting into an issue, this one person would speak, and whatever she said, people learned not to comment on it at all. The conversation would grind to a halt. It would be uncomfortable until somebody changed the subject and they moved on. Because they realized if they ever commented on anything she said, all that she was going to do is defend her position. There was no use challenging her or even putting out another point. Because one member of a team can hurt the dynamics that much. Now, I want to be very careful here, especially in this environment. This CEO didn't go out and say, all right, you're fired. I don't think you should go to your management team and go, yeah, trusting, not trusting, bye-bye, trusting, not trusting, trusting. Because we have to work with people to help them understand the importance of this. But ultimately, after months of working with this person and trying to get her to open up and be more vulnerable, she couldn't do it. She had to manage her out. You saw that conversation. We're going to talk more about that in a little bit. The next off-site meeting I attended with that team after she had gone, it was amazing to watch the dynamics. They got into issues. They made faster decisions. They made better decisions. People didn't hold back purely because they had one member of the team who previously couldn't trust who was gone. It was like watching a whole new company. This is so critical in our organizations. And yet the leader